العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن دعا بدعوته واستنى بسنته وسار على نهجه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, my brothers and sisters in Deen, I enjoin upon you and upon myself the fear of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala gave us opportunity of being part of those who commenced or who started this fasting, this Ramadan, and we pray that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala spare our lives to be part of those to end it. As a Muslim, or as Muslims, we are always advised to take advantage of any opportunity we have, because sometimes getting a chance, you may not be able to get another opportunity. Some of our brothers were part of us last year. We observed the Ramadan with them, but as Allah will make it, they are not part of us this year. So being part of this year's Ramadan, we may not be sure if we will be part of those to observe the next one. And that is why we have to try as much as we can to maximize the benefit and the reward we will have in this month, as we may not be opportune to meet another period. And all our brothers who have died, may Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala forgive them, grant them Jannah. Last year we have one of our Imam, Sheikh Muhammad Sha'aban. Yes, he was with us last Ramadan, but this Ramadan he isn't part of us. So we don't know who is going next. And that's why as a Muslim, you always get yourself prepared. You don't fear death. You only prepare towards it, because it's something inevitable. And any opportunity you have, you make use of it. And Alhamdulillah, we've completed the first 10 days of the Ramadan. We're almost ending the second, 10. And one thing we know, the last part, which is the last 10 days, is also very special in our lives. It is a period within which you have so many things, that are found within it. Within the last 10 days of Ramadan, it is the period within which the Quran is revealed, because it is within the last 10 days you have a night that is referred to as Laylatul Qadr. And that Laylatul Qadr, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala told us that the Quran is revealed, in that night. As He told us in Surah Al-Qadr, He said, Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. Certainly we revealed it in the night of majesty, or in the night of power, that is Laylatul Qadr. So the month, Laylatul Qadr is the month in which Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, the night within which Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala revealed the Quran. And that night also Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala spoke about it, and He told us that Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. He said Laylatul Qadr, it is better than 1,000 nights. Not it is equivalent to, but rather He said khayrun, it is better. So no one knows how much it is or how far it is. That is, it is more than 83 years. So how many of us will live up to 83 years? So it is a period that when you do righteous deed and Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala accepts it from you, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala gives you reward for good deed, for which is beyond those number of years. And then we've been told ikhtanim khamsan qabla khamsin, or in a nutshell, whatever opportunity you have, maximize the benefit of it. And one thing we've been taught according to a hadith transmitted by Imam al-Bukhari, we've been told that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, إذا جاء العشر أو إذا دخل العشر, if the last 10 days of the month of Ramadan comes, شد مئزرة, he tied, that is, he fastens his belt, as we will, say it. He fastens his belt. Or, he fastens his belt. He keeps his night alive. That is, ahya layla, meaning he does a lot of nawafil, he does a lot of good deed, adhkar, recitation of the Quran, and whatever good he can within the night. Yes, at least you use most of the night to do things that is pleasing to Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, because he wants to have opportunity of being within that night doing something acceptable to Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. And he being not a selfish person, he does not limit it to himself alone, but rather we've been told that what? Ayqadha ahla, he will wake his family. So we are approaching a period that we cannot have a period like that, a period that we are not sure of meeting another one. And then what is expected of us is increasing our acts of ibadah. And for you to meet that Laylatul Qadr, I know sometime, you see some of our brothers asking here and there, when is your Laylatul Qadr? And I, no problem, maybe some mosques may try to fix one night and this and that, but no problem. But as a Muslim, for you not to miss that chance, utilize the whole of the last 10 days. What you are sure of, it is within that last 10 days. But any other thing, yes, there is always, talk, but we know it is within the odd, days, within the last 10 days. And when you use the Prophet, he used the last 10 days. So he did not specify only one particular night to say he is going to just focus on that. So it is, advisable for all of us to try as much as we can to try and see how we take advantage, of that. My brothers and sisters in deen, and like we remind ourselves right from the beginning of the fasting, the essence of the fasting is to make us more God conscious, to draw us closer to Allah, to make us live the life of Quran. In a nutshell, it is the month of Quran. When we talk about Laylatul Qadr, it is also the night in which the Quran is revealed. For you to have success in this life and in the hereafter, your life, the level of success you will have connection with the level of closeness of your life to the Quran. The most successful person on the surface of the earth is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we've been told that what? Kana khuluquhu al-Quran. His character is the Quran. You see, when Sayyidatuna Aisha radiallahu anha was asked, how is his character? She did not waste her time listing things, because you can't finish listing them. She simply gave an answer that covers everything, more than 1000%, complete. She said what? Kana khuluquhu al-Quran. She said his character is the Quran. And that's why if we want to have the kind of world we want, then we have to live the kind of life, in most cases, that we don't want. I know it may sound strange to us. The kind of life we want, you cannot get that kind of life doing what you want. You want a peaceful life. You want a happy life. You want a life without trouble, or which have less trouble. If you want a life, a community that is security-wise okay, think of anything good. You cannot get that by doing what you want. It doesn't go that way. We usually remind ourselves. They say, "Man fa'ala ma sha'a, laqiya ma sa'a." Who does what he likes gets what he doesn't like. You do what you like, you get what you don't like. But there is difference between doing what makes you get good things. That is what doing what is right. There is distinction between doing what is right and doing what you like. What brings good is doing what is right. And what brings problem is doing what is wrong. Simple. You do what is right, you have a good society. You do what is wrong, you have a bad society. And in most cases, what we want are things that are not right. What we want are things that are not right. Yes, it is a test from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. He says, لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. You want Jannah, you do what you don't like in most cases. Like now, yes, we are all gathered here for Jum'ah. Yes, if we are given a choice, we will want to do something else. You want to do something else. Maybe you want to sleep, or you want to play, or you want to watch telly. Most. Sometimes we force ourselves to leave what we want to do what Allah wants. That's why even in the Quran, Allah told us that وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ, the one who fears the day he will stand before his Lord and does what? He said وَنَهَا النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَى, and stop himself from following his own desire. Then he said Jannah is abode. But as for those who will go to hell, what did he say? وَأَمَّا مَنْ طَغَى وَآثَرَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا, the one who is arrogant and pompous and chose the life of this world. He said فَإِنَّ الْجَحِيمَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى, the hereafter is, the hell is what? Is abode. So if we want, so the kind of, Allah knows the kind of life we want. Everybody want to enjoy. Yes, everybody wants what? Everybody want to enjoy. Even elders, when you look at some, proverbs from elders, you will see that it goes along with nature, because it is anything. Nature is what Allah puts in place. Like an adage in Igala, it says what? That is, what is sweet in goat mouth kills goat. Yes, you got on to have it. So what is sweet in goat mouth kills goat. In most cases, the foods we like to eat harm us. Just the food that makes you healthier. In most cases, some of us look at it as food for poor people, or food for those who don't have means. Yes, some of us, yes, you buy junk food and so on. You buy them, you think you are enjoying. Like now, when you visit somebody, he gives you water, and you visit another person, he gives you Coke. I'm not saying Coke is haram, Coke is halal. Yes, you can drink Coke, no problem. But the one who gave you water helped you more than the one who gave you Coke. When you drink the water, which you don't value like the Coke, you live healthier than the one who, the more you drink Coke, the more you damage your health. The more you drink water, the healthier you what? You become. But you will feel the one that you visited that gave you Coke to have what? Honored you more than the one who gave you what? Who gave you water. And for those who drink beer, so by the time they place the beer, he feel they what? They honored him. But when he drinks the beer, his health is affected, his sense is also affected. So when you look at things, also like this is in Arabic, they say what? Al-mamnu' marghu. The prohibited is desirable. In most cases, sometimes tell people what they are doing now that they like to do. Tell them it is prohibited and see. They won't want to do it anymore. Because sometimes, we have that kind of tendency, wanting to disobey. Shaitan is always there, lecturing us. He makes us look at wrong things as good things. That's why Allah told us in the Quran, زَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَعْمَالَهُم. Shaitan adorned their evil deeds for them, فَصَدَّهُمْ عَنِ السَّبِيلِ, and he diverted them from what? From the path. If Allah talks to you, He is helping you. But when Shaitan talks to you, he is what? Harming you. He is destroying you. But we listen to Shaitan more than listening to Allah. That is, we follow shaitan more than who? More than obeying Allah. Shaitan can force you, but Allah can force you because He gave you space. Then you feel you do what you like. So when you commit your evil, you say it is what? It is what? The devil. Then on the day of judgment, he will tell you, فَلَا تَلُومُونِ فَلُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Don't blame me, but blame yourself. So my brothers and sisters, indeed, let us take advantage of this Ramadan and change our communities and change our nation. It's very, very important. If Ramadan can change our country, wallahi, put anybody there, it can't change it. Like I do tell us, those countries we think are better, some of us are not actually understanding those countries. Those countries are as bad as our own countries. No country where the European countries that you think are better, they are not better. The issue is just you didn't understand their own situation. It's just like when you go to a kidnapper's house, people eat better food in that house more than the house of the person who is not a kidnapper. Yes, his house, he built it through what? Suffering millions. Yes, your own country, yes, you have some people you say they oppress. Those big ones are also oppressing. In your own country, they oppress individuals, and those other countries oppress countries. Yeah, that's the difference. And you are not capturing it. Some of your own problem come from them. Yes, Libya is the way it is now because of what? Their involvement. Yes, they've involved in that country. If they are better, their involvement will have made Libya better than how it was during Gaddafi's time. So if they got involved and they created more damage because they also don't have solution like your own leaders too, because they are the world leaders. Everybody, like now, the state have the governor as the leader, and the country has the president as the leader. Yes, sometimes what happens in Lagos have connection with what the person in Abuja is doing. So also what is happening in Nigeria have connection with what those so-called United Nations leader are doing. So that means they are higher than your own leader. Their own leadership is above your own. Then that means they have hand in also making your own to look the way they want. Yes, you've had countries where you have leaders who want to serve their people, and they did not allow them to do that because they are not what? Fulfilling their own interest. So virtually, the leadership from at whatever level, if you are saying there is leadership problem in your state or there is leadership problem in your country, there is also leadership problem internationally. Then that means we all need to work on what? On ourselves. We all need to work on ourselves. But you as a Muslim, start with yourself. Submit yourself to Allah. Yes, no matter how bad a community it is, Allah knows how to save you. Let Him save you. Rely on Him. Do what you're supposed to do. Live the life of Ramadan in Ramadan and after Ramadan. Like I do tell us, wallahi, without our leaders changing anything, if we change, some things will change automatically. Automatically. If you have a Muslim today handling a business, if he think as a Muslim, he will not cheat you, he will not oppress you. So he does not need anybody to make any law for him to become a good person, because his maker have made the law for him already. And like I do say to my brothers and sisters, there is nothing surprising if somebody who refuses to obey the law of Allah refuses to obey the law of mankind. It's a normal situation. That's the expectation. That's the expectation. Because it's like when you have a family, the one who doesn't respect his father, then if he disrespects his elder brother, there's no big deal. Because already he have disrespected the head of the family. So anyone under that person is small. So if he disrespects that person, there's no big deal. So if we want to change our communities, let us change our communities. Most especially we as Muslims, let's talk to ourselves as Muslims. We as Muslims, let's submit ourselves to Allah. To be what? Law-abiding Islamically. If you are Islamically law-abiding, you will be law-abiding in any country or any environment you find yourself. Because that Islam commands you to respect your leaders. That Islam commands you to help people do what is right. So when you come into any country and they have their rules and regulations, even if it is a group and they have their rules and regulations, and those rules and regulations are meant to better the life of the group, as a Muslim you will not do anything that will harm the life of those group. That's the distinction between a Muslim and a non-Muslim. May Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala put us among those who will benefit from this blessed month. أقول ما تسمعون واستغفر الله العظيم الجليل لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب وخطيئة واستغفر إنه غفور رحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل. My brothers and sisters in Deen, and like we keep reminding ourselves, trying to get the benefit of this month, it's not just about you not eating and not drinking. That is not the benefit. That is not the benefit. Wallahi, if you have benefit of Ramadan, you will be a different person. If it doesn't show in your life, Allah did not accept your fasting. The Prophet ﷺ told us in a hadith that a lot of people fast, they have nothing except what? Keeping themselves hungry. Some people stay awake in the night, they have nothing except what? Just depriving themselves of the sleep, because they have no reward for those actions, because it is not reflecting in their lives. As a Muslim, Ramadan should reflect in your life. It's supposed to make you a better person. When we talk about taqwa, when we talk about consciousness of Allah, it is not when they mention Allah you melt or you faint. Yes, they can mention Allah and you smile, you still fear Allah. And they can mention Allah, yes, you shed tears, you still fear Allah. It depends on the circumstance. What does that circumstance warrant? Is it the one you smile, or the one you laugh, or the one you what? Shed tears. So consciousness of Allah, meaning you living your life according to Allah's dictate. And ultimately you must get one thing, and that's the area most of us are not getting. When you are conscious of Allah, it has first effect in your worldly life, because hereafter until you die, before you meet it, you can't enter Jannah until you die. So the first benefit of your consciousness of Allah is that it gives you a better world. Like I said, you cannot have a good Muslim that a non-Muslim is afraid of. That's not a Muslim. I'm not even talking about your own fellow Muslim brother. If you are a Muslim and a non-Muslim is afraid of you, then you need to check your iman, because your deen protected him from your harm. So, but today you ask yourself, your own fellow Muslims are not comfortable with you. Why? Because you bear the name, but you don't live the life. You bear the name, you don't live the life. Your fellow Muslim brother is afraid when he's transacting business with you. Or somebody give you his daughter to marry, he is afraid of you maltreating her. Oh, you are married to a man, and as a Muslim lady, he is what? Not happy because of your attitude. Or as a Muslim child, your parents are not happy seeing you. You don't respect your parents. Or as a younger one, you don't respect elders. And as an elder, you don't show mercy to the younger ones, and you say, okay, you've got the benefit of it. Where is the benefit? Because we've mentioned before, there is a relationship. There is a relationship between character and faith. They are connected. You can't disconnect them. Your iman, your level of iman, and your level of, your standard of character are connected. If you want to know how high you are faith-wise. Check how high you are morality-wise. That's why the Prophet said to us that akmalul mu'minina imana ahsanuhum khuluqa. He said the best of the believers in character. Akmalul mu'minina imana, sorry. He said the best of the believers in terms of faith. He said the best in terms of what? Faith is what? Ahsanuhum khuluqa, the best in character. He fears Allah more than us. So Allah picked him for us as role model. So none of us is role model to him. He is the most God conscious. Then Allah made him the role model, because he lives by what he commands. He doesn't live contrary to that. Allah have proved that, and also the Sahabas have mentioned that kana khuluquhul Quran. His character is the Quran. So if you want to remove some of your sufferings, leave your leaders alone. Leave anybody alone. Face yourself. Face yourself. You can still live happily in the, together with a bad person, if you are a good person. For example, now you as a Muslim, your joy doesn't have to be that when you live in a Christian community, that Christian must become a Muslim before you can live happily with him. That's not Islam. Islam have taught you how to live with a non-Muslim, and you will respect his faith, he will respect your own. For example, Allah told you don't abuse what he worship. So if you abuse his own, you abuse your own. So what's the problem? Allah have taught you, there's no way you can make the world one kind of people. It's not possible. And that's why Quran have taught you how to live with all kind of people. Our Prophet ﷺ lived with his uncle who raised him, and up till the day the person died, he did not accept Islam. And the Prophet lived with him happily. He stood with him even at the point of death. And some of us, because of our bad behavior, you can't even live peacefully with your Muslim brother, maybe because his tribe is different from your own. Yes, maybe you as a Muslim, you see somebody who is a Muslim like you, because his tribe is different from your own. You think you are better than him. And after you will read Quran and you will say, Allah say, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. See the contradiction. You say the most dignified in the sight of Allah amongst you is who? The most God conscious. But something happened between him and you say you are better than him, either because he's Hausa or because he's Igbo or because he's Yoruba. May Allah wa ta'ala guide us all aright. May Allah wa ta'ala accept our nawafil, accept our fasting. All our brothers and sisters who have died, may Allah wa ta'ala forgive them, grant them Jannah. And those who are alive, may Allah those of us are alive, may Allah wa ta'ala continue to maintain us on the right path. Our leaders, those on the right path, may Allah wa ta'ala strengthen them on the path. And those on the wrong path, may Allah wa ta'ala direct them to the right path and give them the wisdom and the fortitude to be able to lead the country to the to the right direction. And our shortcomings, may Allah wa ta'ala forgive us. We can't change the past, but we can change the future. So may Allah wa ta'ala give us the fortitude to correct our shortcomings. May Allah wa ta'ala, our parents, may Allah wa ta'ala forgive them for us. You grant them Jannah. Our children, may Allah wa ta'ala make them God conscious children. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم اغفر لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرت ولا هما إلا فرجت ولا كربا إلا نفست ولا دينا إلا قضيت ولا عسيرا إلا يسرت ولا عدوا إلا خذلت ولا مسلما إلا عافيت ولا ميتا إلا رحمت ولا حاجة من هوائج الدنيا والآخرة هي لك رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا أنتنا على قضائها وستر الراحمين. عباد الله قوموا ليسكم رحمكم الله.